You know, sometimes some of the most mundane things make for a much easier trip. If you're going to be out hiking, if you're going to be walking around after a disaster or emergency, sometimes a pair of trekking poles can really come in handy. I've used them in the past and I really like them. Today, we're taking a look at these new OLIFE Glowalk lighted trekking poles. These are different than the ones I reviewed before. We're going to try them out outside in the dark and we're going to check them out when we come back. All right, folks, welcome back. So I was telling you about how these really do make for climbing over rough terrain and possibly debris and whatever else a whole lot easier. They give you a whole lot more stability. Trekking poles in general will do that. But these are a little different because you can use the lights on them to see where you're walking at night. And they don't require you using your trekking poles and then hanging onto an extra flashlight, putting yourself in a precarious position like that. These really do light up a very wide area around them, and we're going to show you that later on in the video. But I also wanted to let you know about Obuy's Halloween sale. Now, you guys know that Obuy is kind of a division of Olight that sells a lot of cool outdoor gear, gadgets, and everyday carry stuff. This is one of the products they have from their OLIFE line. And you guys remember I reviewed a similar kind of pair of trekking poles a while back, and they were pretty cool. I actually really liked them. But these are much brighter and have a much longer run time. So just quickly, I want to let you know about the Obuy Halloween sale. That's going to be linked down below. I have a 10% off code as well. It's Iridium242. You can copy and paste that down below. The link to get to the sale will be down there as well. It's going to run from 8 p.m. tonight, 10/22, till 11:59, 10/26, all right? And if you spend over $59, you get a free Yucca keychain folding knife. A little cool little knife. Lots of stuff's up to 30% off on it. So just check them out. If you're interested in some of the gear, they have a lot of titanium stuff over there, cool stuff for camping, for outdoors, and even for us preppers, who you wouldn't think, you know, they'd have that stuff, but they really do. So it's really cool stuff. Now, back to the Glowalks, the F3 T2 lighted folding trekking poles. They give you 360 degrees of light. They can illuminate trails while you're walking on them, and they're super lightweight as well. That's one of the nice things. You know, it's very important that these things are lightweight because you're not going to be using them all the time. You may not need them. You may have to stick them in your backpack. You may want to strap them to the side of your pack. So you're going to be carrying these things around. If they're heavy, they're a pain in the neck to carry. I also like the fact that they have nice banded connections here and here. They're not that flimsy little shock cord. Really, really well done. And it was a little confusing for me at first how to put these together. We'll talk about that in a second. So they do have a red flashing light as well, okay? It's a warning light. It can preserve your night vision as well. If you have to, say, get up out of your tent to go use the restroom in the middle of the night, you don't want something bright and obnoxious. You want to use the red. You'll still be able to see what's going on around you, but it preserves your night vision a little bit. So when you get back to your tent, you just had this glaring white, stain over your eyes, So they will preserve your night vision. They also flash red, and we'll show you that as well, to signal for help in an emergency. Now, they do come automatically activated with a standby mode, okay? The motion mode is a 30-second standby function that blinks the red light after 30 seconds of no movement. Now, that can either save power or serve as a reminder to keep moving, or if somebody ahead of you falls down, and they're down and you're pretty far back, you can see that red flashing light. I'll quickly demo that for you before we turn these things on. All right, so let's just leave it there and see what it does. And I'll let you know more about these. They also are excellent for walking in the dark. If you're walking your dog, whatever, hunting, any other kind of situations. They're only 15 inches long when they're folded down like this, so they're really, really small and compatible. Now, let's say you don't want to use the light, okay? Well, they also have caps like this that you can put on, and I'll show you how to take that off and charge it, that you can put on if you don't want to carry that light along with you. So that's kind of handy as well. They do come with your mud and snow guards on the bottom in case you want to put these on. And this is for a little more traction in snow and mud, so you'd be able to be held up there. I don't know if that's going to go into that mode because I messed around with it last night, and it probably won't go into the mode, so I'll have to show it to you. But it is kind of handy that when you stop for a while, they will turn on like that. So let me turn this off and let me explain to you how to put these things together. All right, before we go outside and try these things out, of course you're going to have to put them together. Now they do have this little Velcro strap on them, so you'll just open that. Then you're going to choose how tall you want them, and they have the centimeter markings on there. There are not inch markings, just centimeters. Let's go to like 125 centimeters right there, okay? Of course, you're going to just push that in there. Push this in here. Now, if you were to leave it like that, of course, it would just fall out. No good, right? Well, what you're going to do is pull down on this until that little tab comes out. And now, these aren't going anywhere. It's all one firm pull. I was a little skeptical at first, thinking, that's not going to hold me up. I'll push down on it and it'll go. Nope, it does not move. It is absolutely rock solid. So that's how you'll put them together again. Really, really simple to snap them together like that. Very easy. You just pull this top piece where it says OLIFE. You'll pull it out, and that little snap will come out right there. If you find this is too loose, okay, if you're pushing down on it and it moves, you just simply turn it out, hold that there, and you'll tweak it down and tighten up that screw on the other end. So all in all, I had no problem with it. They're not going anywhere. They're in there pretty sturdy. So that's how they work. So let's take them outside and walk around a little bit with them. I'm going to walk down to the end of my driveway and kind of wave them around for you so you can see how noticeable they are. I am going to walk out a little bit with them on so you can see what they look like with somebody totally in the dark walking with them in front of them. So let's check them out. All right, so what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to walk down to the end of my driveway there, and that's about 35 feet, and I'll just edit it so you see me down there. And we're going to run through the modes on these. These are currently in high. I want to put them down in low right now. So I'm going to walk down to the end of the street there. I'll just leave the camera running and I'll just edit it after. And I will show you. We're going to start with on low, all right? And we're going to walk down there and see how bright these things are. Already I see them on the side of the Jeep there. So let me get down to the end of the street there and we'll see what they look like. Now, something I did want to convey, and really it's kind of hard to convey it when you can't see it, is the fact that these light up a very bright area. Right now, there are no lights other than my poles. You can see if I put these out here, I mean, that lights up an enormous area out here all the way around, so I can see any kind of predators coming at me or anything like that from a really, really wide distance. And you will notice that if you hold these stable for a long enough time, they'll start to flash red and say, hey, what's going on? Are you moving? Are you okay? Whatever. You can turn that mode off, but for now I have it on just because it's kind of a handy safety feature. But definitely very, very bright down here outside. So I'm really liking them. Let's get them back up on the table and finish up the video. All right, so pretty darn impressive. I got to say, the Cobb LED, it's 120 lumens and on top here, and it will put out 120 lumens on high for 30 hours. That's pretty darn impressive. And you've got those two modes, like I showed you out there. You got the low, push it again, you get the high. They're a little hard to push. There we go. So you got the two modes there, and it doesn't look like much in the lights, of course, in here. But you saw when I showed you on the ground how much area this thing lights up. So it's very handy. And of course, if you want to turn them off real quick, you just hit that button up top and you're done. Now, if you want to take this piece out, okay, let's say you don't want to bother with that on a trip. All you're going to do is push in on this and lift that piece right off. This is also how you will charge these individually. It does come with a charging cable. That's where you'll charge it like I showed you. You have a dual-headed charging cable, so it's one plug with two heads. You can do both tops at the same time. Makes it a little more convenient instead of having to run two separate cables. These are your covers if you don't want to put them on. Okay, if you don't want to carry the lights on them, you can just snap these covers right on and you're good to go. Makes it a little easier if you don't feel like carrying them around, if you know you're going to be hiking in the daytime. Me personally, for the added tiny little bit of extra weight, I'd always have these on. I don't think I had any use for the other ones. So let me show you how they break down real quick, and we'll finish up the video, and I'll give you some information on how much they cost and where you can pick them up. All right, so it's a little hard to get this whole pole in a video, but you can see it here. Now, to take these down is fairly simple. This is your little snap up here. That's what snaps everything into place and makes it tight. You're simply just going to push down on that, pull it in, and then everything else will just fall apart. When you want to close this up, you just push that down, and there you go. That's simple. Really, all you got to do is just move this thing around here, tighten it up, and there you go. they're packed and ready for transport. So you could probably add a different system if you like, but I kind of like the Velcro. It seems to work well for me. Again, really simple to take down. Nothing difficult about them. A little confusing at first because I didn't know about that Obuy snap up there, that OLIFE snap, where it says OLIFE. I didn't know about that. And I'm like, how the hell do these things stay together? But they're actually pretty simple to do. So I definitely like them. I think that for folks who want lightweight quality trekking poles that can get you out there in the dark, and if you have to, even walking around your neighborhood at night, something like these give off enough light for you to see what's going on, but you're not some kind of bright star in the middle of the desert, especially out here. Walking around with these at night is kind of handy. We got all sorts of creatures and crawlers out here. Not too worried about tarantulas or scorpions, because generally they won't bother you. They'll run the other way, or they'll just leave you alone, unless you pick them up. And tarantulas, well, they're cute, I think. But I worry about the snakes. We do have Mojave greens out here. We have some really nasty type rattlesnakes out here. And, some of them are not aggressive. Some of them you can walk right by, and as long as you walk by and don't stop, they won't bother you. Mojave greens will go after you. So it is nice to have that and kind of have a little bit of field of view when you're walking at night. Might even consider sticking one of these in my e-bike for, nighttime riding. If I get off my bike to fix something, I just light it up, stick it against the bike there, lean it against there, and I got light to fix whatever I need to fix. So they're definitely cool. 15 inches when folded down. They can easily fit in your backpack or alongside of it with some compressions, with some straps, So definitely will work very, very well for your usage. And with the 1300 milliamp hour, 120 lumen, 30-hour runtime, you can't beat that. No one's going to walk for 30 hours straight unless you're in really bad situations. So definitely cool stuff. Like I said, this is part of the Obuy Halloween sale. I will leave a link down below to not only Obuy, so you can see all the cool stuff they have, but these links, these trekking poles as well, directly to them, plus my 10% off code. Remember, it's at 8 o'clock tonight, okay? So if this is up at like 7 o'clock your time, and that's Eastern time, 8 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock, whatever, wait till 8 o'clock and go check out the site. These aren't the only things up there. Trust me, there's a ton of stuff. I could spend an hour just browsing the site myself. So definitely check them out. Really cool stuff. I will leave you the link down below for not only the site, but these, as I said, so you can check them out there. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out all our other links down below. We really do appreciate when you guys use those links. They help keep us going. They help keep financing the channel. We have our Amazon affiliate store down there, okay? Even if there's nothing in that store you like, just click that link and shop as you normally would on Amazon, or bookmark it and use it to shop. That really helps us out a ton. And even if there's nothing in there you like, generally what I put in my Amazon store is stuff I'm reviewing, or things that I have reviewed in the past, or just handy stuff. Handy stuff that you'll see me use, like forks, spoons, knives, all the kind of outdoor camping gear type stuff. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesalers link. You guys saw my video the other day. You can make some really good food, and there's a lot of people out there in government who are looking to restrict what you can eat and what you can buy, and basically rationing your food. So definitely check out freeze-dried wholesalers. There was a little bit of confusion. A lot of stuff says back-ordered. Back-ordered is okay to order. It just might take 2 weeks to get to you. He has the stuff. It's a matter of they're running 24/7 to keep up with demand. Obviously, people are starting to get in on the panic, what's going on in the world. And I hate to call it panic, but it's a lot of people at last minute buying stuff. So definitely check them out. You can order the stuff that is back ordered. It might take a week or two to get to you. No big deal. I know I ordered mine a week ago. I'm still waiting, so it's coming. All right. You just have to wait a bit. I would do it now before it gets to the point where he's like, look, we're out of stock and we have nothing. He still has the food to freeze dry. He just has to know how much to do. Below that are my Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. Don't forget when you go to that, if there's nothing in that main page, my little page with my ugly little mug on there, if there's nothing on that you like, go up to the top where it says My Patriot Supply, the banner on the left-hand side, and click on that banner and you'll see the whole rest of my site. I really wish they'd put a link on there directly to that page, because there's so much more than just food from My Patriot Supply. So check them out. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check that out as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.